Welcome to my class of science, specifically science paper 1, which is physics in this case. Okay, so it is just a continuation from where we ended. So this time around, we are now going to face the real examination questions. So now we can actually handle them under sound wave. Okay, depending on what we have looked at so far. So the first question is, in an experiment to measure the speed of sound by direct method, it took 1.47 seconds for the pistol sound to be heard by the person with a stopwatch positioned 500 meters apart. Calculate the speed of sound. That is question number 1. Then in an experiment to measure the speed of sound by echo method, when a student stands 80 meters away from the hole, 25 claps are heard over 11.75 seconds. Calculate the speed of sound. So to start with the first question, so let me say solution here. Okay. So the question says calculate the speed of sound. And this is the direct method which we are going to use. This is not an echo sound. Okay, so the formula is just the usual one. Distance over time taken for speed. Okay. So we are going to say speed is equals to distance. Let us see. Are we given the distance in the question? Yes, distance is there. They are saying 500 meters apart. Okay, between the two persons. So there were, there was 500 meters in between. So we are going to say distance is 500. Then over, then time taken. Are we given time taken? Yes, time is there, which is, they are saying it took 1.47 seconds for the piston sound to be heard. So that is the one we are going to put, 1.47. Okay. So how many times does 1.7 or 1.47 go into 500 meters? It goes 340 meters per second squared. So that is the answer. Remember, speed is measured in meters per second. So that's the reason why I've used meters per second. That's the unit for speed. Again, this is paper 2 type of question, so you don't need to, this is science and calculators are allowed, so you don't need to waste much time there. Just get a calculator, you punch there, you get the answer, better you go. Then we go to question number 2. So question 1, we are done. Then we go to question number 2. So question number 2, in an experiment to measure the speed of sound by echo method, when a student stands 80 meters away from the hole, 25 claps are heard over 11.75 seconds. Calculate the speed of sound. So remember, this is echo sound, meaning the distance is twice there. So you say speed is equals to distance times 2 over time taken. That is to and fro in terms of distance, going and coming back. So it is twice. So now, let us look at time. Are we given time? Time, they are saying, from the wall, 25 claps are heard over 11.75 seconds. Calculate the speed of sound. Now, this is not the one that you are going to use for time, because this 11.75 seconds is heard over 25 claps. So what we are going to do for us to find now, each time for each clap, we have to divide by now. Okay, So we are going to say, first of all, we need to find the accurate now time for each crab. So it will be the distance, the time over 25 crabs, which is 11.7 over 25 crabs. Okay. So here, first of all, let me even indicate it here before we come to the formula. I just introduced the formula for finding the question, the answer to the question that we are given. So here now, you can now say each time for each crab, time for each crab is equals to the time taken for 25 crabs, which is 11.75 over, I can even indicate it, time for time taken for, okay, time taken for 25 crabs over 25 crabs. So that is the formula. Time for each crab. You are going to say time taken for 25 crabs over 25 crabs. So whatever you are going to get there now is the time for each crab. So time taken for 25 crabs was what? 11.75. Let me wrap this. 11.75. So 11.75 over 25 crabs. So you say over 25. Okay, so what is the answer there? You just use the calculator. I use the calculator. Okay, so you use the calculator there where you say 11.75 divided by 25. The answer is 0.47 seconds. So meaning for each crab, the time was 0.47 seconds. Okay, so this is the one that we are going to use here on the original formula. So now we can go back to the original question where I will say distance is 80. So 80 times 2 over 0.47. So 8 times 2 is 160 over 0.47. Okay, so what is the answer? 160 over 0.47 seconds. So we are going to say 160 divided by 0.47. What is the answer? So there, the answer that you are going to get is 340 meters, because when you rounding it to the whole number, it will just be this. Okay, meters per second. We still get 340 meters per second. That is the distance. So this is how we solve problems under sound wave. There's 2 more to come in the next lesson. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, Pedagogy Learning, for more exclusive videos. See you in the next class.